Salutations, my wonderful people, and welcome to another episode of Unsolved. And with me, as always, are my wonderful companions. Kellen, who plays the role of Richard Barden.
Greetings and salutations.
Michael, who plays Gene Franklin.
Hello.
And then Brianna, who plays Leslie Hart.
Hi.
It's been a while since we've played last. There's been a lot of things that have been preventing us from playing. I've been moving. There was work for, I know, Michael for like at least 2 of those sessions.
Mm-hmm.
And it's been a lot of stuff. But we are gonna continue the story now. Yay. So, we are going to recap what happened last time on Unsolved. Last time, I'm going to open up my notes here. Last time, Gene and Leslie went to the office of William Randolph Hearst, the CEO of the Herald Express, and attempt to find some clues in regards to finding where Miss Underwood is, because they're looking for her and haven't found her. To question her some more about the Short case, the strange case of Elizabeth Short. Now, while they are there, they found met a woman named Sarah Lindell, who was the secretary of William, and they didn't get a lot of information out of her, but they did discover that they didn't like her, and they called for a warrant and have begun examining the place, and now they're waiting for a locksmith so that they can open up the safe in William's office. While all of that is happening, Richard and Lisa, along with Jensen, their Lisa's new partner, encountered some strange things in Short's apartment, and got out of there relatively unscathed. Not mentally, though. They had a rough time. And went to see the went to the hospital to get checked. And wanted to know whether or not they had been poisoned. Questioning what they saw, they decided to retire for that evening because they were not sure how to proceed and just needed to take a lie down after all of that horrible stuff. And we are going to pick up back with Gene and Leslie as the locksmith arrives at the Herald Express. And you see him walk up to the onto the floor that you've been waiting. You're kind of waiting at the at the door leading to the secretary's space, which then leads into the office. And you've been waiting for the locksmith, kind of a little bit impatiently. You've had to deal with Sarah Lindell's a very annoying attitude towards you. But when you see the man arrive, he walks and goes, "So you guys called the locksmith?"
Yep, they're here. I just more or less dragged them straight over.
All right. What you need me to open?
That one on the wall.
Well, that's
And
an
I
old.
can step away.
That's an old model. Let me see what I can do. And I'm going to roll some locksmithing for this man that is very capable at his job, I hope. He is. It doesn't take him a very long time to just, It doesn't take him a very long time to kind of just open up the lock. It's as if he kind of just put in there like a set of lock picks and just like flips it open like pretty easily. And he goes, well, this should be good enough for you. And he kind of opens it up a bit. Anything else you require?
I poke my head in. Is it actually the only, is there another object that I will need him to open conveniently while he's still there?
No, you can see in there is a very old revolver. You're not sure what the make of it is. Then there are some, documents, and you can see as well, also a very strange looking coin. Those are the only items in there.
Okay. Yeah, so I thank him for his services and let him go back about his day.
Alright, just call if you need anything. And he walks off. You notice that at this kind of point, Sarah Lindell's kind of just stopped bothering you, and she just seems to want as little to do with you guys as possible. But yes, you can examine the safe if you want.
Okay. Is there anything on the inside of the door of the safe?
Not on the door, no. There's nothing there.
Okay.
The only thing that you can see is the documents that I mentioned before, the revolver that you don't know, you don't know the make or anything of that,
yep.
And the strange coin.
Okay.
It's a singular coin.
Okay.
I can't remember where exactly I was. I mean, I was in the building.
If I remember correctly, the last thing you did was just talk to a few people.
Yeah, that's vaguely what I remember as well.
Yeah, and you didn't get a lot of useful information.
So I'm gonna imagine that Jean calls me upstairs.
Yeah.
So I want to do a roll.
All
They don't. Oh, there's not a no, is there?
There's a knowledge.
There's a no. There should be.
Let me see what my no is, because I don't think I can psychology this.
95.
I'm gonna roll a knowledge.
Yes. What are you trying to know?
Oh, well.
That's a lot of dice.
Sorry. Hold on.
You're just rolling a plain no check.
Probably specifically on the coin. But...
all right. If you're rolling specifically on the coin, I'll be giving you a very hefty penalty of 60.
Not quite, unfortunately.
You haven't seen a coin like this ever before. It looks very strange. It has 8 corners to it, and it doesn't have any mint to it. It's not. You don't think you would use this to pay for anything. You think it's made out of some mix of iron and something else.
So it doesn't have any text on it?
Yes, there is some strange text on it. There are weird... The text is very strange. You don't... You haven't seen it before.
It doesn't happen to be in Hebrew, does it?
No.
I happen to have points in Hebrew. Okay.
It doesn't happen to be in Hebrew.
Hey!
I have points in Latin.
So I'm gonna do the good boy investigator thing, and I pull out a pair of cotton white gloves, pull the objects out of the safe, and put them on the desk.
Okay.
So that we can look at them and catalog them before we pack them up and bring them back.
So as you're doing that, I'm gonna get my book because I need to have my Cthulhu book in front of me. I'll be right back. So.
Wait, cotton glove.
Don't worry, guys. I was just getting my Necronomicon. Just to look up what kind of horrors you're about to see.
I roll for meta knowledge. What page is that?
So,
Rata.
so, when you're looking over the items and cataloging them, you can roll. Do you have any?
Any of it seem forged?
I mean, roll.
Is this a fake
So what's
coin?
you're right, is
I
it
mean,
a fake?
Don't you want to
what's
read
the
it
book?
first?
Yes. What's the book?
So the no, I was just getting my book. You didn't find the Necronomicon. Come on. No,
I thought you said it was a book.
No, you found some documents in there.
Okay.
Okay. No, I was just getting my Call of Cthulhu book. The
The
Necronomicon.
Store the documents.
So you're gonna look at the documents?
Yeah.
So those seem to be they list basically a little bit of a transaction between the Herald Express and like official, not official. The documents are just typed on official Herald Express papers. It seems to list some sorts of deals between specific people within the city, and one of them seems to be Horals, and
I knew it.
and another one of them seems to be the Aggie Underwood.
Okay. What were the details of those deals?
It doesn't state specifically what the deals are about, but it does list a payment.
All right.
All of these list payments. All of these just list payments, basically. They're like,
So it just says, it doesn't say like pursuant to some other paperwork that.
So to basically to give you an idea of what it reads, it's like, for completing the before agreed upon tasks, you will be paid these sums for each individual task, and there is a Roman numeral behind each like sum of money. Like in front of each sum of money to kind of like catalog like tasks, but you don't know what tasks these Roman numerals are hinting at.
Okay.
And I look at Jean and I said, "You want to talk to the secretary or should I?"
Yeah. He doesn't seem to like me much.
So how about you talk to her and I'll tell you if she's lying.
Do the sums of money look like a reasonable amount of money that would be paid for something Or is it like a silly amount of dollars?
I mean, it seems reasonable, but like she has quite a few of those, and we're talking about like in 1947, someone getting $500 for completing a task that is like just numered with no description to it that you can see.
Okay.
And the lowest amount of money is like around $375, while the highest one is reaching very close to $1,000.
Got it.
So unless she was prostituting herself.
I mean,
You've seen how some of these big business types can be.
yeah.
But it nah.
Some like the numbers that Underwood has, she has a quite like her list is a lot longer than that of Horrell's, for example, and they do not share the same like deals. Basically, you can kind of summarize that each number is basically a deal of some sorts, and
Sure.
yeah, it represents you just don't have the deal handbook to know what they mean.
Okay.
Right. Let's bag this up for evidence and talk to the secretary before we head out.
I don't know. I was thinking of giving the stuff on portals to the FBI agents here that bagged them the other day and let them handle with it. They got a bigger cudgel than I do.
Yes, but we can't leave it here.
No, I wasn't going to leave it here. I didn't want to talk to that bitch again, though.
Alright, I will take the paperwork and go to the secretary and ask what she knows about this.
All right. So you walk up to her, and she's kind of standing outside her office, kind of holding a coffee cup and just trying. You can just kind of see it that she's trying, just not. She's trying to kind of listen in on your conversation, but like trying not to be very obvious about it. But you can easily see this with your training. It's not a lot.
Okay.
It's not very hard to see this on her.
So I hold up the bagged paperwork
Mm-hmm.
and just say, what do you know about this?
She turns towards you and kind of looks at, glosses it over and just says to you, nothing.
I'm gonna do a psychology roll on her.
Yes.
Not the first time she's lied.
Yeah, that's a hard at least.
I think that might be an extreme.
You can't do an extreme over 20.
Oh, yeah, you're right. But it's definitely
Yeah.
a hard success.
That's a hard.
Yeah. So, you mean she is lying? You can sense that she is lying, but not totally. You think she knew. You can kind of guess that you knew about these deals, but not what they entail. That's kind of like she looks at it knowingly, at least.
All right. So I shrug and I say, well, I hope you're more helpful to the police officers who come after me, or else you're going to be impeding an investigation.
Mm-hmm. She just kind of gives you the stink eye, just like, and just walks away. She doesn't seem to want to engage with either one of you any more than she has to. I mean, it's very easy to see that she got it. Like she does not want to deal with Jean anymore, especially.
Was there anything special about the revolver, by the way?
So I can send you a picture. I can actually show you a picture of it. Let's see. There it is. There. It is a very old-looking revolver. It's definitely not in current use. You could easily see that.
So we're looking at what, something from the the early 1800s.
Still wait.
Yeah, you could guess at least it's probably from from somewhere in the 1800s. Oh yeah, whoops. There it is. It is a... Yeah, it's somewhere from the 1800s.
Does it look like it was... Does it look... Is there anything special about it, or it's just old?
It looks old.
I'd like to do a no roll on the gun.
All
I
right,
think my no's higher.
there we go. I'm just gonna send you the image now, cause
Is it a forgery? Is it a fake gun?
This is a fake. Well, you were gonna roll forgery for the documents. You can do that if you want.
Sure. Sort of all encompassing. Is there anything? Yeah. Is there anything that's?
Is anything fake?
Is anything fake?
Are her boobs fake?
That's a pass. It's a 53 against a 71.
You don't think these are forgeries, or if it is a forgery, it's a very, very well-made one.
I
But
can't
you-
remember. Did we have access at one point to the books, like the financial books?
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
we
you did look. You did look through them. You didn't find anything interesting, if I remember
Can we
correctly.
cross-reference the financial books against the dates of those letters of accounts paid?
All right, I'm gonna move this over here so we can actually.
Theoretically, those payments to Horrells and Underwood and the others should be in there.
If they're in the books, yeah, then they should be. You found nothing that, like, when you went through the books a bit earlier. I think you went through the books while you were waiting for the locksmith.
Yeah, that's probably true. But now
And-
that I have both sets, are those payments in the books?
No, you do not find any correlation in the books.
Even with I would probably skim back, forward and back a week or two or something like that, and still nothing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's no. This was kept
So
out. This was kept out of the books.
Okay, there's other payments that I also have beyond Aggie and Horrells. Are any of those in there, or just anything in this pile is just not in there?
You don't think after searching for some of those, you don't think any of those are actually written anywhere in any of the books?
Okay, I'm also taking the books as evidence.
Yeah.
So
On risk of financial reporting crimes, I'm taking the books.
So at some point, we can hold her for 24 hours without charging her with anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's more fun to send them over together at 2 in the morning.
Yeah, but I'm concerned about what she could do in the meantime.
Yeah. So yeah, we call it in. We call in her desire to not cooperate with us, and the risk of financials crimes. Can we get someone out to pick her up?
Yeah, I mean, you can easily call it in. I mean, around this time, you get some, since you did call in a warrant for this place, you could have easily called for other police officers to also arrive. Because you would probably want to have some backup.
Sure.
And you can
Someone
you can
on
tell
the
them.
floor since I have thoughts.
Yeah, you can ask them to take her in.
Okay, I'll ask
For-
them to take her in.
Yeah,
As-
for possible
as she
future
said-
questioning.
Yeah, and as she said, she's effectively running the place right now in his absence, so
Yeah,
she would be the next person responsible.
yeah. But yes, the gun is now in the Discord chat, and I will also add it to the.
He's a gunslinger.
Ooh. I do not shoot with my heart.
Oh, by the way, what's it loaded?
Wait, you did not shoot with your heart. You're supposed to shoot with your heart.
Sorry, it's been a while since I quoted it. I got that wrong.
You've forgotten the face of your father.
I have forgotten the face of my father. Forgive me. I'm going on mute.
Was it loaded when we pulled it out of the safe?
Yes.
Okay. How many bullets?
It has it
No,
is
like,
full.
was it full or...
It's full. It
Okay.
has five bullets
Okay.
or 5 pellets.
They're not bullets.
They're like the very old kind of bullets. There are.
So let me rephrase that. When I pull the gun out, I would have unloaded it as a matter of course.
Yeah.
Are they the right bullets for that gun, or are they?
Yes, they are the
something
right bullets for that gun.
Okay, it's not some custom goofy anti-Cthulhu bullet thing.
No.
Okay.
They
Anti-Cthulhu
should
bullets.
probably take that into...
Oh yeah, I was gonna just take everything that was in the safe. I just didn't want to cut the safe out of the wall, or I would have taken that in too.
This is basically the information that you need to know about the bullets.
Oh, okay, it's one of those.
Yeah.
Sorry,
the,
Michael. This isn't supernatural, and that's not the cult, unfortunately.
The bullets, these bullets that are in it are just mostly round.
Yeah. Old.
They can be shaped like normal bullets, but these ones are round. But these are old as fuck. It doesn't, like, other than that, it doesn't seem to be very special. But if you unloaded it, then yes, you can pocket it as evidence.
Does it look like it's been cleaned recently, or is it just like a rusted mess that's just been sitting in the safe for 20
It
years?
seems to be very well maintained. You think that it's only recently that it hasn't been maintained.
Okay.
And you think that that would probably coincide with the time William stopped showing up at his office.
Okay.
All right. Just out of curiosity, honestly, I go and ask somebody for a copy of the paper they're going to be printing for that night or afternoon.
Most of the paper seems to... It seems to still be somewhat focused on the Elizabeth Short murder, and also there's also a note about the police chase that happened that you were a part of, and the crime, the search for the people responsible for the explosions back at Aggie Underwood's house is being conducted and everything like that. But otherwise it doesn't seem to be very, for lack of a better word, interesting.
Okay.
So there's no, just for reference, it's not official yet that Aggie's dead?
It doesn't, there is a... But yeah, wait, yeah, there was. They had already, I forgot that. It has been announced that Aggie Underwood was found dead.
Okay. Because I would think that'd be like front and center, one of our big reporters was killed in this horrific way.
I forgot that for a moment. But yeah, I think she died. I think she died I think that was the release the day before.
Okay.
Yeah, because this is not the same day. This is that could have been the paper today that was around. Now they're just talking about they're searching for the murderers and stuff like that. I'm going to be right back. I need to use the toilet. Talk amongst yourselves.
I don't. This is.
I'm doing important stuff in the hospital. Yeah.
So how's your head?
Nice and recovering from insanity. We've all been there, right?
Yeah.
That's a conversation for when we're not being recorded. Are you breaking everything?
Remember where the case is.
Wasn't it all on the TV?
Yeah, it was on the TV. Do you see it on the TV now?
Well, then why'd you move it?
Hey guys, I'm back.
Yay.
Why?
So, but yeah, you think that there isn't too much more to do here, other than, you can send some forensics guys to check out some stuff, but other than that, there's probably not much more than that you guys can do.
Alright.
You also would know that you need to file out some paperwork for getting her into the station and stuff.
No, that's what the cops are for. They can do.
Oh yeah, you're gonna need to file up though with the evidence. I mean.
Yeah. Yeah. So I do intend to go back towards the the police station.
The cop shop.
Yeah, the cop shop. So, you took a taxi, right? Because Bruno was on the car.
Probably. Sure.
No,
Well,
you're in a police car. You're in a police car.
Yeah, so we
So
take the police.
you head back towards the police station and towards the central police station, and when you arrive, Sarah Lindell has already been processed. They headed out a little bit ahead of you guys, and you had kind of straight
a hell of a smile on my face.
You head
Oh,
straight. You head straight towards the evidence, and you start signing in, handing in the evidence and signing it up, filling out the
What
paper.
time of day was it?
What time? What?
What time of day?
This would be around 6 p.m. for you guys.
Alright, so are there other cops there?
Yes, there are other cops around. You can also see that the guys running the show are still there. The FBI agents. Let's see.
Alright.
Where is his name? It's been a while since I've seen his name. Detective. Did I just go past the FBI's name? Because I probably did. Yeah,
It's
yeah.
horrible.
Agent Mackenzie is there still. He's currently he has been temporarily assigned as the chief of police there, as you may remember.
Yes.
Yep.
You do see though that like when you kind of look towards the office, you do see that strangely enough he's still in the office, and you can see him on the phone, and he seems to be somewhat worried when he's talking in the phone. But that's the only thing you can see when you're walking past his office.
Okay.
So this is what I want to do. I want, how many, investigators were working on the shooter before we showed up?
How many investigators have been working on the case?
Sorry, I cannot remember.
There was the head detective, the one that was leading the case was Detective Victor. You've already talked to him. Let's see. Yeah, Detective Victor and his partner Terry Jones. Those were the guys that were heading the case before.
I'm sorry. It's been a while. Was one of those the one that's now locked up, or at least like under internal investigation?
Yeah, that's Victor.
All right. So who's the other one?
His partner Terry Jones.
All right. Is Terry in the building?
He should. He's also under internal investigation.
All right, but he's not locked up.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so I would go and ask him if he wants to come to the bar and get a drink.
When you can see him, he's just. He's currently just kind of in the office area, just sheepishly, really, because he's under investigation and it's very obvious. When you ask him, he kind of gives you a weird look and goes, "Why? I mean, I can drink with you, I guess. But why do you want to drink?"
I just want to ask you some questions without, and then I look around, prying ears.
Roll for me.
You asked the cop to go for a drink with you in the middle of Prohibition, right?
So,
Wait.
This is the 50s.
Oh, never mind.
Yeah, we're past that. We're good.
In my head, Call of Cthulhu exists in the 20s.
roll for me persuasion.
Okie dokie.
Do you have a better option? I don't remember. Oh no, your persuasion's good.
with a penalty of -10. Well, you got it either way.
Yeah.
He goes, "Sure, I could use some time away from here."
So I run to Gene to let him know where I'm going. Mostly that I'm going like next door, where where we're going to the pub where all the cops go.
Do you tell me who with, or do you just go, "I'm going out for a drink"?
I'd probably say I'm going out for a drink.
Okay, that's your thing. Have fun. Whatever.
So, yeah.
I'm at this point cross-checking the books with the notes to figure out if there's like how deep all this goes and directly cataloging every entry that should be there.
All right. So you're spending most of the evening just going over the evidence, going over cataloging the evidence, making sure that everything kind of fits together.
I'm making sure it's all not in order.
Yeah, and your evening is basically going to be going to that. Just be going into that. So
I'm sorry, I like paperwork. Sue me. And it's away from people.
So Leslie, you guys walk to the closest bar, which is not too far away, I would guess. Like
That's what I would assume.
Yeah, it's not too far away. You can find a bar pretty easily. And you walk in. You walk into the bar. It's a very it's a pretty chill bar. It's a pretty relaxed atmosphere in there. Some music's being played, and you can see some other off-duty detectives kind of smoking and drinking off in another corner, kind of giving you a side eye as you walk in. And
So-
you head towards the bar, I guess?
I'd probably pick a booth
Yeah, you can pick a booth.
away from prying eyes and ears.
Yeah, you sit basically in the first booth available. That's the furthest away from the other detectives that you saw when you walked in.
I want to see if the other cops are giving my companion the stink eye, or if they're giving me the stink eye.
Roll for me psychology,
Yay! I like rolling psychology.
or is it psychoanalysis?
Either way.
She has the same score for both.
Yeah, I know.
Which I think is, 90?
I think it's going to be. Yeah, it's psychology. So you think it's a little bit of both.
Okay.
You kind of think it's because they don't like the other guy, because they just he and Victor made their jobs just a hell of a lot harder, and they kind of threw away a chance of a lifetime. And
An outsider.
yeah, and you're an outsider that's kind of working with the newbie on this big case, and you think that those guys would have wanted to take this case, because it would have given them it's kind of a guaranteed promotion
All right.
at this stage, really, because there's so much at stake here.
Okay. So, I order drinks for the both of us, and I order something pretty weak for me. I order a beer, but I also order a water to go with it.
Mm-hmm.
And then I ask what's his preferred drink. Actually, I want to do can I do a psychoanalysis and see if I can order a drink that he would like? And
That's gonna be psychology, but yes, you can.
Okie dokie. Ouch.
You have no idea what kind of drink this man wants. But he looks at you and goes, whiskey.
Alright.
So say even better, you order the wrong thing.
No,
for him.
don't try. Please don't. Please don't make this harder than it has to be.
Don't torture me more than I have to be tortured.
Oh, but that's half the fun.
No! It's Call of Cthulhu. I don't want to be tortured by a police officer being angry at me. What's the point of that? Anyway, I wait for drinks to come,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm doing the thing where I'm being quiet, hoping he will talk to fill the uncomfortable science, the uncomfortable silence.
Yes, psychology is the uncomfortable
Yeah,
science.
you're sitting just. There's no like you're not even speaking to each other, so it's a very gets really awkward real fast, basically.
All right. So, like as soon as the drinks come and like he's had a sip, I start asking him questions about potential suspects that people he suspected but had nothing on.
So he very very carefully starts talking to you about the similar things that Victor talked to you about. The fact that they deliberately he didn't do it because he wanted to. He feared for his job. But they talked to Victor mentioned to you when you asked him that they had been told by Holt because of your interference to deliberately kind of hide evidence away and stuff like that so that you couldn't solve the case ahead of them. And he kind of talks about that entire thing, and you start suspecting after a while that they were, because of everything basically you were doing, they were more focused on actually hindering the investigation than actually doing the investigation.
So he had nothing, no leads,
nothing that you guys haven't uncovered yourselves, basically.
All right. How long has this guy been a detective?
Probably for about... He says he's been, like, around 6 years now. He used to be in a different department, but he's been in homicide for 2 years. He was in traffic before.
Oh.
So, essentially, he knows the facts of the case, though. Yes?
Yeah. I mean, he kind of had to. He had to go over...
Right, that's sort of what I assumed, but I just want to make sure, because I want... So, I sort of say, so if you were, like, gonna actually do your job, what would you have done?
I would have probably asked those that she had some contact with closest to her death, and then I would have he kind of goes into like he would have, he says to you, like, yeah, he would have gone and attempted to talk to all those that she had some association with after they had discovered who she was, and kind of worked from there. And you start seeing that he would probably have gone just from that. He would have probably gone at some point to her apartment they would have at some point talked to, let's see, Robert Manley, who, according to him, at least in his mind, has the biggest reason to actually be the culprit, to have gotten rid of her, because he's the last one that is known to have seen her.
Right. So I'd like to roll an idea, because I feel like there's something important I could get out of him if I knew the right question to ask.
Okay, so what do you want to do, you say? You want to roll what?
An idea.
Okay.
That's bad. I think that might still...
You just barely failed.
Okay.
Yeah, you feel like you might not know the exact right answer, questions to ask him. But you're not sure you're gonna be getting a lot of good information, since you're not sure what you want to ask him. Like you've been asking him for some names, and he seems to be going off. A lot of his information seems to be going off from the information you guys have been gathering.
Right.
He does, however, you see him though for a while think, and goes, well, there might be, there's a theory that the culprit never ventures too far from their home when they do their work, so he might live close to somewhere where he can easily reach where Miss Short was murdered, and where, if it is the same culprit, where Aggie Underwood was murdered.
Right. So we'd be looking for a location, maybe not equidistant, but relatively close to both locations.
Yeah. The death of Aggie Underwood could have just been the result of, the investigation she was performing on her own. It doesn't sound like that. That sounds like a very plausible idea for a murderer to get rid of any trace.
So I'm gonna ask him one last question before I essentially walk him back to work, which is, or I go back to work. Not gonna make him go back to work, maybe drunk. But I was going to ask him if there was anyone in the detective, or any detectives, or even any police that were overly interested in the Short murder, not in a malicious way, but we're kind of following it as a hobby. Somebody who might have some pet theories or something like that.
Well, so kind of just asking about on the station. One of the guys at the station says and must have the guy that cut up Miss Short has to have some sorts of surgical training, because those cuts and that precision that he uses can't be coincidence. That's not novice work.
Yeah, I was something that we knew. But there's not, like, one person who is thinking this way. There's not one person.
No, you. This is not like one person. You. That's kind of the consensus overall. They feel like it's definitely somebody that has had some sorts of training in this, or at least in their mind.
All right. Then yeah, I'd probably just go back to the police station and I don't know what I'd do there other than go over the notes again of everything that's happened and maybe try and get in contact with Richard.
Mm-hmm. So
well, I would go back and see what Jean has done since.
So you probably spent like a good hour, 2 hours with him there, and then walk and then check.
More than an hour and a half.
Yeah, and like by the time you're done and arriving back, it's probably around 9, between 9-10. And you arrive, and you can kind of see Gene's kind of finishing up all of his paperwork. He's been cataloging everything properly and going over them. So he seems to be kind of finishing up at this point. And you kind of just approach him in the office space that you've been granted in one of the meeting areas. Gene, overall, just going over all of this evidence, cataloging it all has made it somewhat easier to understand.
Yep.
Like you have a much better idea of what's going on. Okay. You do. One of the things that you kind of start figuring is that even as a reporter, you think that Aggie Underwood's involvement in this entire thing is questionable at best.
What do you mean, her involvement in what?
How she was the first at the crime scene, how she had pictures from it before even the police arrived, which is something you found in her office. And the fact that she was, like, killed pretty, she either had to have her hands pretty deep in the case without you guys noticing for her to be killed for investigating it on her own. And you think it's really strange that, like, even, like, not just the fact that she was murdered, but she was murdered in such a grandiose way.
Yep.
It was like they were waiting for you there to put, like, to set an example. But when you look at, like, the Elizabeth Short, like, how the body was displayed, you kind of start to lean towards the fact that Elizabeth Short was put out to be found and to taunt local law enforcement, while Aggie Underwood was made to be found by you to send a message of some kind. Kind of like telling you to back off.
Sure.
And roll for me a idea with a -20.
Wait, did that roll? That didn't. There. My idea is an 85.
85.
Yes.
You feel like you're on the brink of figuring something out.
Okay.
And you're kind of... You feel like if you take just a little bit more... Like, if you just go over this a little bit more and, like, just make sure that everything here is as it is, you might figure out... You might figure out a way to kind of... give you a clear direction in the case.
Yep. Okay, so I bring it, so Leslie comes back around this time?
Yeah.
Okay. So I walk her through everything I found and how I'm feeling about the state of the case. Where the fuck is Richard?
When you attempted to contact Richard, Leslie, you called the motel and you didn't get any answer. So you think that he's either arriving at the hotel now, I mean, this would be around the time, or he's not there yet. But it's getting pretty late.
Okay. How are you thinking?
I would definitely...
It definitely looks like some schmuck is trying to get us to back off and is setting us all up as some sort of thing for us to find to try and send us a message.
I look at Jean in a sort of yeah, no, duh way.
Jean goes looking for coffee. Jean looks a little sheepish and goes like, because it's been another long day.
Yeah.
And we've all just been pushed to our brink.
It's not hard for you to find some coffee, and during that time, you can kind of... I mean, Gene's been cataloging stuff and writing things down as he's doing so, and I'm guessing he would have probably written down some of his thoughts while he was doing this, to kind of...
Yeah.
And Leslie... Yeah, so, and Leslie, when you kind of glance at his note, you can see that there's some, like... I mean, you figured that there was some message trying to be sent here, but you start to see a little bit more what he was meant by that when you see that kind of his thought process being written down on paper, where it kind of starts to... And when you're looking at it, roll for me an idea with a -20.
I have an idea.
Yeah. So when you're looking at it, and you kind of start thinking that he did this unintentionally, but he when he was writing down stuff, he kind of separated things into two thought bubbles, and when you kind of look at them, you start to figure out that the person that murdered Elizabeth Short is not the same person that killed Aggie Underwood. The more you look at it, the more you start to kind of think that not only was the message that's being sent with both of these messages contradicting each other, but it's also just the way that it's executed. Pardon the pun.
So as soon as Gene comes back, I take the coffee out of his hand and drain the whole thing. Like it's alcohol, but it's not.
It's steaming hot coffee, but you gulp it down anyway.
You okay there? All right, I'll go get another. I just sort of saunter out of the room.
I put my hand on his shoulder and I said, "We're looking at more than one killer."
You sure? Sounds like you've been listening to horrors again.
I point out the inconsistencies that I'm seeing.
When when Leslie does that, your own, like, the idea that was kind of swirling in your mind, you start to, like, just figure out what you were doing unconsciously, and you go like, yeah, when you like say it and point it out on the paper, and you kind of start to put it together yourself.
Gene collapses on one of the chairs and drops his head on the desk. Hard. Like, you can hear it outside the room, just this loud thunk.
you because there are windows there, so they, like, and I mean, you had the curtains, like you had everything covering everything back when Horrors was over, but I'm guessing you would have had it open now that you are in a safe working environment. And like when you do it, you can just immediately see like a few officers and like detectives just kind of look towards the room and go like,
"Yep."
You obviously caught their attention.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go get some coffee.
Got the pot.
And then, actually, while I'm waiting for the coffee to percolate, I try and get a hold of Richard again. This time, much more like afraid for like his safety potentially.
Richard, you wake up as the motel phone starts ringing.
Well, of course, the lights are already on for obvious reasons.
Yeah.
I reach over and pick it up. Yeah.
And I'm very relieved to hear that it's Richard. And
Or is it?
No. I say, Richard, it's Leslie.
Yeah.
We need you to come in to the police station.
Oh, and Godpool, even though he's over that mental break, there's still shades of it coming through, and so he responds to her back on, "Roger that, ETA 5 minutes."
I go, I'm a little taken aback, but we were both military men, so okay.
Yeah. It did feel a little bit out of character for him to say it like that, since he's been a little, like, most of the times he's been like respectful and he's been like professional, but he hasn't used military lingo at all.
And he just hangs up.
I make him a cup of coffee as well.
Yeah,
and I go and wait.
You kind of felt that was a lot more cut and dry than you expected. Like a lot.
Bring back the pot.
I will. I'll bring back the pot.
So, it doesn't take him very long, maybe 10 minutes to arrive.
Oh, yeah, it actually goes really fast, but he does everything that he would have kind of done military, check weapon. Everything's nice and, like, he's not going in looking disheveled. He's going to actually look neat at 9 o'clock at night.
Yeah. It's 10 o'clock around now because you arrived. You've been taking an hour nap.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's been an hour since you and Lisa split up. But you arrive and you can see immediately into the room where Leslie and Jean are. You kind of briskly walk over there. And enter the room.
Yeah,
I
and
hand him one of the coffees.
he's being very crisp with his motions, but he's got very dark circles under his eyes.
Yeah.
Leslie would have seen this. This is like battlefield readiness, is what it is.
Yeah.
The whole getting an hour's sleep to go right back into combat.
Yeah, you can really tell that he's really tired, and but he's not displaying, but it's obvious when you look at him that he is tired. But he's not displaying it with his behavior or anything like that.
Do I see it?
I'm gonna have since you're not a military man, I'm gonna have you roll for it.
Okay.
So I look.
No.
You don't.
I look at Richard and I said, "So, you saw the short apartment?"
Roger that. Saw the short apartment. We were at the hospital and then he lists off time in military time, 0600, or no, let's see, that'd be 6 p.m. So that'd be 1800 until 1800 until 2100. Arrived back at the hotel, took a nap, woke up with your call.
What did you see there at the short apartment?
Leslie?
Do me a favor, Richard.
Mm-hmm.
Roll for me a Sandy. You're not gonna lose a Sandy or anything like that, but roll for me a Sandy.
Okay.
I want to see whether or not you're gonna be able to tell what you saw there without being all freaked.
And I will say that if I fail this, the battlefield, the distant stare, is what's coming out.
Yeah. You're basically going into a little bit of shock. Kind of your mind just rejecting what you've seen.
Yep. So I got a 25 or less to get this. Oh wow, I came fairly close.
Yeah.
No.
You just see him kind of drift off when you ask the question. And you get a faint recollection, that you've seen something like this before.
I've got an answer, if you want.
Yeah?
All he says is, "Darkness, Leslie. I saw darkness." So, what do we got?
And I sort of nod. And I motion for him to sit down. Where is Lisa?
Probably resting as well. She had us tested for drugs.
And I'm a little bit, but not really fazed by this.
I mean, technically, see, neither you or Jean would be too shocked hearing that they went through something weird when they went there. But you do think that checking for whether or not they were drugged is a somewhat logical choice.
It's like, maybe we should have done that. Explain a lot.
We just wanted to get you
We tested negative. There was nothing.
And I tell him what I told Jean, which is, we're looking at more than one killer. And
He just
I'll
kind
show him.
Yeah,
of stares at her for a second, of course, and then looks at everything Leslie shows. Quick question. Can we kind of lay out all the clues we have so far, if someone's got that kind of notes? Not necessarily the big details, but or a lot of details, but
yeah,
the big key points we need to look at.
What clues do you guys got written down?
Alright, hold on. I got my notes. Where's that page of notes where we wrote down everything we knew on like the back of the sheet?
I don't know. Should be one.
There is one thing I can note for you immediately, however, Richard.
Mm-hmm.
When you're looking over the table, when you see the strange-looking coin, you start to feel unsafe.
When I see what makes me feel unsafe?
When you see a strange-looking coin with 8 corners to it, you start to feel somewhat unsafe.
Really?
Yes.
But no one else, I mean, so, Well, if he feels unsafe, would he pick it up and look at it? I don't know. Question, Godpool. Alright, so obviously there's the main light on, but are there any other, like, lamps in the room that are just kind of, like desk lamps?
Yeah, there are.
Richard does an odd thing. He wants to look at the coin, but before he does, he turns on these extra lamps.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's kind of weird.
Yeah, you kind of feel like it's kind of pushing your fears closer to the surface. You kind of feel this room isn't bright enough. You feel like there aren't enough lamps in this entire police station to make this room bright enough.
Okay, that's it. He just points. What is that?
We don't know.
Where did it come from?
We explained to him about taking it from Hurst's safe. Yes?
Yes.
Yes.
And he just says, it's not right. I don't like it.
I don't like a lot of things about this case, kid.
No, Gene. I know what you mean, and I agree there, but no, that, I don't like it.
How closely are you looking at this coin?
Not touching, leaning over.
Okay, yeah. Are you, like, looking at it well enough that you could kind of make out the details on it? Or are you kind of averting your eyes at every opportunity?
Oh, God, you know what? Right now, he's still so close to his experience, he's probably glancing at it more so. He leans over, but he's not, like, looking directly at it. He's trying to.
Since you're not looking...
It's like he's fighting against himself to look at it.
Can you roll a spot hidden for me, then? Since you're not looking directly at it.
Yep, I will do so. Nope.
The urge to kind of look at the coin and your mind fighting against the urge kind of prevent you from actually gleaning anything whenever you're actually looking at it. For you, it just is a uncomfortable shape lying on top of the floor, on top of the top of the desk, and you preferably don't want to see much more than that.
Yeah, he's going to need some more sleep before he can work up the courage for that. He's still so tired and beat from the previous experience that I'm just not able to fight through and try to look at it directly right now.
Seeing Richard so worried, can I have another look at the coin?
Yes, you can.
Okey
So do you want to pick up the coin and just examine it very closely, or do you want to just like kind of look?
Yes, I would pick it up and examine it very close. And
Okay.
I'm actually gonna roll that one.
So do me a favor, when you pick it up and you start looking at it and kind of examining it a lot more, roll for me because it's the same point. Roll for me a sandy check.
Okay. 2 88s in a row?
Oh, so
Fuck.
you
know
pick
how
up
fear of breaking
you with a handkerchief. You pick up the coin and you start to examine it, and you kind of start to like look at it from all angles until you kind of center it in your vision, and you look directly at the center of the coin, and this coin has some strange looking symbols, and the more you stare at it, the more they start to kind of float off the coin until you're kind of just in a trance looking at it.
I slapped the coin out of her hand,
And
or his hand.
you will take
The thing freaked me out. And
3 points of sanity damage
Where's
as your mind touches something it shouldn't.
all I'm saying is, the coin freaked me out. Then my partner picks it up, looks at it, and then starts staring off into space. No, I'm slapping Leslie's hand.
So you slap the coin out of his hand, and as soon as you do it, your trance is broken, and you feel your mind being jolted back to reality. And you feel the fears that you the fears and the fears that you've experienced over the last couple of days come all kind of crashing in on you, and suddenly the room is too small. And you kind of quickly glance towards where the coin was slapped, where the coin landed, just in an attempt to not lose evidence. As soon as you look at it, the fears, the claustrophobia intensifies immensely, and you back away towards the door and stop looking at it, kind of instinctually.
You guys okay?
For you, Gene, this looks very, very strange.
I just say, Gene, whatever you do, don't touch it with your hands. Don't look at it directly if you pick it up.
And Gene pulls out his cloth gloves and picks up the coin again and goes, I don't understand.
Put it up. Put it in an envelope or something. Put it away right now.
So,
And Gene looks at Richard and goes, you serious?
Please, Gene.
He drops it in the coffee cup. That's still full.
Okay. You hear a very empty drop sound, like a kind of a. It's as if a drop of water had just hit the top, hit the top of the hit the coffee and made like a droplet sound.
Okay.
But yes, Leslie, you were about to say something.
While I'm rushing out of the... Wait, is there a window in this room?
Yes, there is a window that leads into the big, the shared office space.
No, like a window to the outside.
Yes, there is one window.
Can I open it?
Yes, you can.
I open it and I stick my head out.
Breathing air.
The fresh air, the sky, the open sky above you alleviates you of some of your fears. You start to breathe. You start to breathe lighter, and you start to relax.
Alright, as soon as I think I can possibly bear it, I pull my head back in, grab a piece of paper and a pencil or a pen, like whatever's nearest, and I write down the symbols as best I remember them.
Alright, so I'm gonna
Actually, in fact,
So I'm gonna draw them down for you, and I'm gonna send them to you.
Oh, okay.
But I
Nice.
like my out of character sanity.
Paper, 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 paper. There's paper.
And it's like, as soon as I do that, I rip the page off, I fold it in half. I make sure that I can't see it, but that we have it for later reference.
Roll for me a sanity test just to see how well you can, like... actually, roll for me... Yeah, roll for me a... Yeah, just... yeah, I was about to say just... A sanity, that's going to be the best one. You're trying to keep your calm when you're doing this. Trying to...
Yes. I succeed.
So, let's see. Da 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 dum bum 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 bum. There we go. You roughly sketch up these symbols, and you don't really, like, as you kind of said, you barely like manage to look at them without kind of sending your mind into a strange place. There we go. There we go. And there you go. There's the picture.
All right, so I fold it over and make sure that I can't see it, nobody can see it.
Yeah, as soon as you fold it, like, as soon as you finish, you just, like, fold it immediately without really... Like, before you even think about folding it, it's already folded.
It's folded so good.
Did I get a chance to see it before she finished and folded?
I'm gonna say yes. You can have a chance. I'm gonna let you roll a spot hidden just to be able to glance it. I feel like she's jolting it down really fast. Leslie's jolting it down really fast and just throws it, like, just jams it into a pocket.
I was gonna make sort of a funny errata moment and look over and go, that looks sort of rough, and pull out of my notes more or less a cleaner copy of that from when I was cataloging everything. Because I haven't been affected by the coin at this point.
Not yet. It's because
So
you
would
are...
me have cataloged everything given me a safe chance to jot all this down, or would I have gotten fucked up if I tried to do that?
You were, like, almost done cataloging. You were, like, the only thing left cataloging was the stuff from today.
Got it.
Just the, you were just finishing up, and then all this stuff started happening, so you got kind of distracted as the revelation with a case appeared.
Okie dokie. So I look over at the coffee cup that I now feel like a dumbass for having dropped the coin into. Go, well, what are we gonna do about that?
Drink your Cthulhu coffee.
Nah, that's okay.
Just use tweezers or
So you're-
something, but make sure you get a handkerchief.
So you're
Hold on.
so
Can
you're
I
look-
roll to fail whether or not I do a stupid and take a sip?
did you roll for a spot hidden to see the note?
Which note?
The
Oh,
note that I did. You asked to see it.
duh. Sorry, I'm. Spot hidden. I think that's a no.
Okay.
Let me see. Where is it? No, I don't need that.
So yeah, you want to try to get the coin out of the coffee?
No, I was gonna roll like an idea or something to remind myself the coin needs to come out of the coffee before I drink it.
Yeah. You can
So I
do
don't
that.
need to roll again. I'm thinking just like an idea. I have an 85. I shouldn't fail, but it's funny if I do.
Yeah, it is.
Okay, I do remember to take the coin out of the coffee before I drink it.
So you as you go to take the coin out of the coffee, like with you're just kind of try to put a. I guess you.
I'm actually gonna take the coffee out or take the I'm just gonna take the coffee out. No, I'll just go to like the bathroom or the nearest sink and just pour it out and then pick it up, wipe it off.
So you kind of pick up the coffee and start heading towards the bathroom, and you're kind of walking there. You kind of look into the cup, and you notice that the coffee is swirling in it.
Yeah, I just sort of shake my head. At this point, I'm just assuming that I'm tired as crap. I'm not overthinking the fact that they're acting weird. It's been dumb and weird after dumb and weird.
Mm-hmm. So you head towards the bathroom. You pour out the coffee, and you kind of watch out so that the coin doesn't fall and disappear. And you pick up the coin and kind of clean it with the water.
I'm holding it with a paper towel.
Yeah. Do you examine the coin at all?
A little bit.
A little bit.
Like from a distance. Like I don't hold it up close, but just like as I'm rinsing it off. You know,
Roll
just
for
sort of
me. Roll for me a
Flank.
sanity check. What is your sanity?
I think high. 52.
You just barely failed. You kind of just, since you saw them, you just kind of look at it with interest, and your mind starts to wander as you look at it.
Yep.
And Richard and Leslie, you start to kind of wonder where Gene is when he hasn't been back for about 15 minutes.
Yeah, I'm worried. I already know I'm worried.
So, as that is happening, Gene, you look at this coin and you start to kind of etch the symbols into your mind as they start to kind of leave the coin. And the more you look at it, the closer the symbols seem to be getting to you.
Okay.
And as you're staring at this coin, you kind of start to look at it with some more interest, and you start to feel it, kind of roll it in your hand as you look at these strange symbols that are kind of floating towards you.
Okay.
Yeah,
I've done today, but
the background of the police station seems to just disappear, and you start to see a strange waste around you. A desert with empty skies. Only blackness. However, strangely enough, you can see perfectly fine. You see the sands kind of drift off the sides as if nothing exists at some points. And you see footsteps as you look down.
Mm-hmm.
And suddenly you're jolted back when, I'm assuming, Richard arrives and slaps the coin out of your hand.
Yep.
So, for peeking further into the warp than you were supposed to, you take 4 points of sanity damage. You have looked into the beyond the darkness of the world, and you saw some strange things that made no sense. Logic-defying things. When you arrived into the bathroom, by the way, Richard and Leslie, you could have sworn for a moment, although this could definitely just be your mind's tricking you. Let's roll a no check for me to see if you guys fully register this.
You do.
I do!
Yay!
Why am I getting the...
You
Wow.
just deny this completely as you go to slap the coin. But Leslie, you could have sworn that for a moment Jean was translucent.
I am mentally guarding the hell out of myself right now.
You could have
I
sworn
hope
for like a
that-
second he was transparent and you could see through him.
I definitely poke him and then give him a shove.
So when I startle back, I'm looking at my reflection in the mirror, sort of panic and smash the mirror.
Yeah,
And I make it look like I just accidentally whacked it with the coffee cup, but it was totally intentional.
so when you look at yourself in the mirror, you see your face melted and disformed, and you smash
I
it.
just broke the mirror on purpose.
And you see him just kind of instinctively just slam the coffee cup into the mirror on the wall.
I am grabbing a ton of paper towels out of the paper towel dispenser and like balling up that coin, like in the center of it.
You see, like, it doesn't take a very long time as you're doing this that, like, a few officers just arrive and go like, what the hell happened in here?
Nothing, just broke a cup while I was trying to clean it out.
He was trying to smash a really big wasp and missed.
Roll fast talk.
Is that my thing?
I don't know, but, you know, it better be.
That is
It's
definitely
my
not my
thing.
thing.
I'll roll for that. I think that's a success.
I mean, if Richard's...
Barely.
if both of you are assisting each other, you're getting a that means it's easier to get it. So it treats you as having 10 more in the skill. So yes, you would have easily gotten it since Richard is backing you up.
Yep.
They go like, all right,
I'll pay for it. I'll pay for it.
you kind of take some time to explain what happened, and the officers kind of they seem to believe what you're saying, although they seem to be somewhat concerned that and he just smashed up the mirror.
It was
And
huge wasp.
you do notice that at one point Mackenzie is there because he would have obviously heard this. And as the other officers are leaving, you see him kind of peek in and goes, "All right, 3 of you should go and get some rest. You've had a long day. You've been at it since this morning. Get some rest. You need it, especially you." And he looks at you, Richard.
Roger that, sir.
All right, you're dismissed. And he walks off.
I halfway bring my arm up for a salute. I'm like, damn it. Now put it away. And I take the coin that's balled up in just like a big ball of paper towels, and I just shove it in my pocket.
Leslie, if you want to, you can roll psychology. Well, everyone can roll psychology for horrors. Not for horrors, for Mackenzie.
Say for Horrors?
Horrors?
Where is he? I will smash his face, too.
I got it.
Okay.
I think a hard
I'm
success.
psychology everything. I know it all.
So you get a tick into psychology, Leslie. Richard, you're so close to it, but you do get it.
Do I get a tick?
No, sadly, no. You're very close to getting a tick, though.
You get a walk instead.
Yeah, you get a. Since I can't give you a pat on the back, I'll give you a clap on the head.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to roll for it, Gene?
1 second. Do. Really? I actually succeeded at something.
We all
Nope.
succeeded at this.
You failed?
No, I succeed.
Okay.
I thought that was the one I had 0 in. No, it was psychology at 57.
Ah, okay. You do get a pick in it.
Okay.
Yes, Doug.
So, you feel like there is probably something. There seems to be something kind of weighing on his mind, but and he's probably gonna tell you about it at some point. But you feel like your state. He's kind of evaluated that you're currently not in the state to take more information.
I just look right at him. What's eating you?
Well, I was gonna ask with my superior role, can I see if it's right to push him at this time?
I mean, you don't think that he's going to. You don't think he's going to give you an answer even if you pry.
I'm still gonna pry.
And he says to Eugene, tomorrow, and continues walking towards his office.
At least he's going to give us something. I say that out loud.
Yeah, swift kick in the ass. Fucking wasp, Richard.
Well, you went with it and it worked. I'm not the one
I said
smashing up
nothing.
mirrors here. Did you look at the coin, Gene, after I told you not to look at the fucking coin? And I'm actually on edge about this. Then why were you holding it in your hand, staring at it with that drool on your face?
I was cleaning the coffee off it, you nutwit.
Whatever. I just walk out.
Are you guys going to
Hey,
head toward?
Richard, where'd that coin go?
I got it right here, and yeah, I hold up this big ball of paper towels. And neither one of you are allowed to touch it again.
He says, holding this bundle of paper towels.
I make sure it gets back in evidence.
And he just, yeah.
So you walk back towards the office space that you're all using, and I'm guessing you're going to be putting the thing away before you head back towards the motel. Leslie
the
and
file cabinet that has a key on it
Yeah.
and a lock.
Wait,
Oh yeah,
wait.
open, tossed
We're
in there,
going back
locked.
to its motel? Or its motel?
towards
The
your
coin owns the motel, Godpool?
no. I said before you head to the motel. Oh, sorry.
No. You said before we go back to its motel.
Oh,
So
sorry.
The coin owns the motel?
No, he doesn't. I misspoke. I'm sorry.
Mhm.
So, as Leslie and Jean kind of pass the room, and you're putting it away, you You're going to put the paper towel away, and you're looking at this filing cabinet, and you're about to put it into the filing cabinet. Roll for me because there is no willpower in this. Roll for me a sanity check.
Come on, stop doing this to me. It's not happening, Godpool. I don't know what you expect of me.
One day. You don't.
I've taken 10 points so far. I'm in a 1 in 4 chances.
You don't want this coin to go that far away from you when you start thinking about how far away the motel is.
No, damn it.
You'd prefer this coin stay with you.
No! Crap, come on, guys. You gotta see me. Spot hidden. Somebody stop me.
you can spot hidden this, guys. You're walking past.
So I noticed that he's been gone, because I'm gonna let his fighting with himself earn him something. It seems like he's taken a suspiciously long time to put the coin away.
Yeah, this is around the time when you're walking past the room, so you can catch also a glimpse of this with your peripheral vision, which is why you can roll a spot hidden.
I've got the cabinet open, my hands up, but I just can't.
I have to roll for that.
Yeah, it's spot hidden to see him question himself.
Okay,
you make it.
Yes, I do. Is that an extreme? I can't math.
No. You get a tick in it.
Okay. So yeah, I see him.
Save me! You see it as you're about to walk past the window. You notice that he's just kind of frozen, at this just filing cabinet, just about as if he can't as he's struggling to put this ball of paper into it.
So he's still got the ball of paper in his hand?
Yeah.
I just walk over and I go, Richard?
Do you knock on the door to try to get his attention?
Oh, I thought you said the door was open.
The door is open, but he's not facing the door.
Yeah, sure, but I knock on the table.
Yeah.
It wouldn't. I've stepped into the room. I knock on the table. Does he respond?
Not.
Sure, I respond.
Do me a favor. Roll a listen check for me. Isn't there a listen check here somewhere?
Yeah, me.
Somewhere.
Yeah, you.
Oh,
you,
yeah.
Richard,
Okay.
the one that's having a fun time.
Come on, Richard.
I thought you were going to tell me that he's chanting something.
Yes!
Oh, so you're startled and you drop the ball of the paper towel ball into the filing cabinet, and your mind just kind of jolts back to your first thoughts of this is a dangerous thing, and you kind of instinctively just shove it close and just turn the key immediately.
And I start breathing heavily.
I'll then take the key from him and stick it in my pocket. You okay there, kid?
And I just say, thank you. And I just step away.
I'm confused. Thank you for what?
I actually don't know, but I just know I need to say it. And I just start walking out of the room.
Okay. I follow him out.
Yes. Wrapped in a paper.
Guys, I gotta get some sleep.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah,
Yes. Hey, Gene, I know you got the key. I would actually recommend giving it to our little secretary, a receptionist, and have her hold on to it for us tonight.
Nah, I got it. It's okay. It'll be bear with me. It'll be locked up in my room.
As you start heading towards the motel, the thought of this coin kind of lingers in your mind. in the minds of all of you. And it seems like the trip towards the motel is a very quiet one. Like, even though you kind of do chat on the way, it's not in the very normal, like, hey, what's up? It's more like kind of hush, like a very soft-spoken conversation. And, like, replies are kind of short and far between. It's a very, you feel, all of you, that it's been kind of a stressful evening overall. And for you, Gene, the images that you saw as you were looking at the ring kind of still linger in your mind, kind of causing you to wonder what you just saw. Mm-hmm. Whether or not it's real or not. And you arrive at the motel. You kind of, like, you're looking at the clock as you're about to enter your room, and you note that it's surprisingly enough, you didn't notice this much time passing, but it's almost midnight. And you could have sworn that you did not spend maybe more than like half an hour or 45 minutes at the police station. You, Richard and Leslie, when you look at your clocks in your rooms, you kind of notice the same thing. It feels like time didn't really pass us. It didn't feel like this much time passed. And you decide to kind of, with worries in your mind, you kind of try to position yourselves as comfortably as you can, and you go to sleep. Is there anything you want to do before you go to sleep?
Turn all my lights on.
It's a very bright room.
Open the window.
It's, I mean, I'm not going to say the air is fresh, but, you know, it's better than being locked in there with no open windows.
I just lay in bed and stare at the ceiling.
Yeah, Eugene, you feel just so many questions kind of linger in your mind about what you just experienced, and how this tiny little coin item is relevant to anything that you've been doing in this case. And with that, we are going to call it. This has been a very interesting episode of Unsolved. Did you like the coin?
So creepy. So creepy.
I was waiting for the black man in the desert to try and sell me things.
I was entertained by the fact that Richard just could not, for the life of him, succeed his sanity checks.
Sorry, dude.
Sorry, Richard.
It's not happening anymore. It's done. I'm just, anytime sanity's up and it's my turn.
It's gonna be a struggle.
I'm gonna try to make it through the end of this campaign, guys, but afterwards Richard just taking a sabbatical.
You caught the Joe curse. Start low, stay low.
I'd call it the Kellen curse, because Kellen has almost never rolled a good sanity check.
Kellen has almost never made a good roll, period.
You've had a lot of rough rolls, my dude.
I know. I'm great at doing story stuff, but when the dice come to try to back me up, they leave me out to dry. High and dry, up shit creek without a paddle.
Yeah, so I've been waiting forever for you guys to find this coin. Just waiting for you guys to just play with it, and I'm like, yes, finally. You kind of just brought me a lot of joy. First, the apartment, and now this. You're doing this just for me.
I can't believe we all fell under the coin spell. There should have been at least one of us that was like, no.
I tried.
I mean,
being as precautionary as possible, and it still got me.
I mean, the coin is just, you start looking at it and it just looks so shiny and pretty. Of course you kind of want to look at it more. It's irresistible. It's kind of like the One Ring. You can have it for a while, and you kind of put it on your finger, and you're like, oh, this is great.
So did the gloves actually help me at all?
The gloves actually kind of minimize how fast it affects you. But the more it's mainly affects your mind. So
I wasn't sure if the lack of physical contact actually helped me.
The longer you look at it, the greater, the more fun things become. Which is why I rolled a D8 for you and not a D4.
Oh.
I rolled a 4 on the D8.
I wasn't actually paying attention to what you were rolling.
Oh, it's good to know that you almost got really, really screwed over by the dice. But, at least you only took the maximum of the damage that Kellen took. But
so
yeah...
So it's like the zombie apocalypse, I just have to run faster than the slowest guy?
Yeah.
God. Put that coin in a damn metal briefcase and take a flying trip to Hawaii. I got a volcano it needs to visit.
But it was fun seeing you guys, finally seeing Jean, Leslie, and Richard kind of reconvene and dealing with some of the evidence together. Although mainly it was just one of them. But now you got this coin and you can speculate about that for next time. You got those interesting symbols on it and stuff.
Coin, 2 murder suspects, and trying to put clues together. Hooray!
I mean, that was a big break in the case for you.
Sorry, we're bad at this.
I mean, to be fair, both of the murders were put in, in a way, displayed in a very grandiose way, but the presentation was just a little bit different on both of them. It was a very... The hint that you guys were, missing the entire time in regards to the, hint whether or not it was being shown, that it was more directed towards you specifically, and the other one that was just being taunt to, going ha, can you catch me? And not the, don't fuck with me, is the fact that it happened in a very isolated area. The other thing, while the other one happened in a very open area. Not everyone saw the body. Only you guys. Only you guys almost blew up with the body. So, that was a fun time. Richard had almost burned up. But I want to thank you guys for the session. It was a good session.
Awesome. I can't wait to do this again next week.
Yep.
Yeah. I'm pretty excited for next week.
I'll be here.
Oh, yeah. And until then, don't pick up any suspicious coins or go into haunted apartments, because at least wait for us, because we want to see you lose your mind. We'll see you next time on Unsolved. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.